Spain isn't just a destination, it's a layered story told in passion and stone, in fire and flavor. And every chapter surprises you. We begin in Ronda, where drama isn't optional, it's built into the landscape. Perched high above a deep gorge, this cliffside town feels like a dream sketched by a poet. With its legendary bridge, bullfighting history, and sweeping Andalusian views, Ronda doesn't just offer a view, it demands a pause. Then comes Valencia, where old meets bold. The city that gave us paella also gave us futuristic architecture, golden beaches, and street art that rivals its classical cathedrals. It's a place where oranges grow in the city center and nightlife pulses through ancient walls. But Spain never stops shifting. From the mainland, we sail to Garachico, a coastal gem in Tenerife that turned tragedy into beauty. Once buried by lava, the town rose again, its natural rock pools and quiet charm now standing as proof of resilience. You won't find tourist crowds here, just authenticity, ocean air, and whispers of the past. Back on the mainland, Toledo awaits, a living museum perched above the Tagus River. This city wears its history with pride, where every cobbled street tells a tale from when Muslims, Christians, and Jews all left their mark. Cathedrals, synagogues, swords, and stories, it's all here, layered like the pages of an epic. And then the finale, Teide National Park, a place so otherworldly it feels like stepping onto Mars. At the heart of Tenerife, Mount Teide towers above a surreal volcanic landscape of craters, lava fields, and skies that stretch forever. Standing here above the clouds, you don't just see Spain, you feel the earth itself breathing. These aren't just stops on a map. They're emotions in motion, pieces of a country that pulls you in deeper the longer you stay. This is not tourism. This is transformation. Welcome to Spain, wild, soulful, unforgettable. Ronda. Imagine standing on the edge of a vast gorge, with a whole town perched precariously on both sides of the deep ravine. This is Ronda, a place where nature has dramatically split the landscape, and humans have stubbornly built one of Spain's most extraordinary settlements. Despite the challenging terrain, the essence of Ronda is captured by El Taja, a breathtaking gorge that plunges 120 meters to the Guadalquivir River below. This natural wonder divides the city into two distinct parts, the old Moorish quarter, La Ciudad, and the newer commercial district, El Mercadillo. The magnificent Puente Nuevo, or New Bridge, connects these halves, and despite its name, it has spanned the gorge since 1793. The bridge took an astounding 42 years to complete and stands as a symbol of human ingenuity. If you look closely at its center, you'll spot a small chamber that once functioned as a prison, and reportedly, a torture chamber during Spain's Civil War. Ronda's dramatic landscape has long drawn creative minds in search of inspiration. Ernest Hemingway and Orson Welles were both captivated by the city, with Hemingway even featuring it in his Spanish Civil War novel For Whom the Bell Tolls. The famous scene in the novel where fascists are thrown off a cliff was inspired by real events in Ronda. The city also holds a special place in bullfighting history as the home of Spain's oldest and most beautiful bullring, the Plaza de Toros de Ronda, built in 1785. It was here that the legendary Pedro Romero developed the modern style of bullfighting on foot, rather than on horseback. The arena's museum showcases vibrant matador costumes and chronicles the controversial history of this Spanish tradition. Just a short drive from Ronda lies the remarkable village of Setonal de las Bodegas, where homes and businesses are literally carved into overhanging rock formations. Nearby, the once ordinary village of Juzgar transformed into the Smef village after every building was painted bright blue for a movie promotion. The transformation proved so popular with tourists that they decided to keep the distinctive look. Beyond its bridges and buildings, Ronda has a more wild history. The rugged, inaccessible mountains surrounding the town made it an ideal hideout for bandits during the 15th century. These outlaws controlled mountain passes, ambushed wealthy travelers, and became folk heroes to many of the poor Andalusians. Valencia. While Ronda clings to its cliffs, Valencia is a testament to human resilience and innovation. After a devastating flood in 1957 that claimed many lives, the people of Valencia made an extraordinary decision. They diverted the Turia River to the south, transforming its riverbed into one of Spain's most impressive urban parks. The 9-kilometer-long Turia Gardens now winds through the city, offering spaces for jogging, cycling, picnicking, and playing, surrounded by palm trees, orange groves, and sports facilities. It's hard to believe this peaceful park was once a flood-prone waterway. At one end of the garden stands the City of Arts and Sciences, a futuristic complex designed by Santiago Calatrava. It houses Europe's largest aquarium, an interactive science museum, an IMAX cinema, and an opera house resembling a giant helmet. These stark white buildings stand in contrast to Valencia's historic center, creating an impressive visual effect against the blue sky. A short walk away, the old town, Ciutat Vella, takes you back to Valencia's medieval roots. The magnificent Valencia Cathedral combines Romanesque, Gothic, and Baroque architecture, and houses what is believed by many to be the actual Holy Grail, the cup used by Jesus at the Last Supper. Just 10 kilometers south lies Albufera Natural Park, a freshwater lagoon surrounded by rice fields. It is here that paella originated, created by farmers who combined rice with whatever ingredients were available, like rabbit, chicken, and local vegetables. Today, authentic Valencian paella remains distinct from the seafood versions found elsewhere in Spain. History enthusiasts will enjoy a trip to the medieval town of Zataiva, home to a stunning hilltop castle. This town was the birthplace of the infamous Borja family, which produced 2 popes and left a lasting mark on European politics. Garachico. On the northern coast of Tenerife, residents of Garachico once watched in terror as molten lava from the Montaña Negra volcano crept toward their prosperous port. For 9 agonizing days, the glowing river of rock slowly advanced, eventually consuming much of the town. However, in one of history's rare strokes of luck, not a single life was lost. Before this catastrophic eruption, Garachico had been the bustling commercial heart of Tenerife, with ships from Europe and the Americas filling its natural harbor, trading in wines, sugar, and exotic goods. Elegant mansions lined its streets, built with wealth from international trade, and the town's prosperity seemed secure, until the eruption changed everything. What makes Garachico special today is the transformation that followed the disaster. As the lava cooled, it formed unexpected natural pools along the coastline, now known as El Calaton. These swimming spots, refreshed by the ocean with each tide, are a beautiful legacy of the eruption. Meanwhile, the once busy harbor was rendered unusable, and shipping was redirected to other ports like Santa Cruz. This economic downturn, however, had a surprising benefit. While many coastal towns turned into tourist hubs filled with high-rise hotels and crowded beaches, Garachico remained frozen in time. Today, visitors discover beautifully preserved colonial architecture around the Plaza de la Libertad, including the 16th-century Castillo de San Miguel and the Church of Santa Ana with its marble altar. The town's cobblestone streets lead to hidden plazas where locals gather at traditional cafes, and in the evenings, the sounds of Canarian folk music drift from quaint taverns where fishermen share stories over glasses of local wine. This authentic atmosphere has earned Garachico recognition as one of Spain's most beautiful towns. A short drive from Garachico is Teno Rural Park, where ancient volcanic activity has created dramatic landscapes of deep ravines and towering cliffs that plunge into the Atlantic. Amidst this rugged terrain lies the tiny village of Masca, perched precariously on narrow ridges between soaring peaks. This remote settlement remained nearly unknown to outsiders until a road was built in the 1990s, earning it the nickname Tenerife's Hidden Gem. Toledo. Toledo stands as a living monument to an extraordinary historical experiment, where Christians, Muslims, and Jews once came together to create a civilization that would forever change Europe. Walking through Toledo's narrow medieval streets is like stepping into a perfectly preserved time capsule. Unlike many European cities that favored a single architectural style, Toledo embraced them all. As you walk, you'll find yourself turning a corner and coming across an ancient synagogue, only to face a mosque-turned church with Gothic spires rising in the distance. The massive Alcazar fortress dominates the skyline, standing guard through countless conflicts. This imposing structure has been rebuilt many times throughout its turbulent history, most recently after the Spanish Civil War, when it endured a devastating 70-day siege. Toledo wasn't just any provincial town. It was once the imperial capital of Spain, where kings ruled until Philip II moved the court to Madrid in 1561. However, Toledo's most enduring legacy is its reputation for craftsmanship. For over 2,000 years, the phrase Toledo steel has been synonymous with quality. Roman legions sought these blades for their exceptional strength and flexibility, a reputation that continues today, with ceremonial swords still being made using traditional methods. Art lovers will know Toledo through the eyes of El Greco, the Greek-born painter who made the city his home. His masterpiece, The Burial of the Count of Orgaz, still hangs in the Santo Tomé church, depicting heaven and earth in his signature elongated, otherworldly style. The Cathedral of Toledo stands as Spain's Gothic masterpiece, taking nearly 300 years to complete. Inside, its sacristy houses an astonishing collection of paintings by El Greco, Goya, Velázquez, and others, essentially a world-class art museum within a cathedral. Just beyond the city, the landscape transforms dramatically. The famous windmills of Don Quixote still stand sentinel on the horizon, while the surprising Bullen Canyon offers Spain's answer to the Grand Canyon, a hidden gem of dramatic red cliffs and ravines carved by the same Tagus River that embraces Toledo. Teide National Park. Did you know that Spain's highest peak isn't on the mainland? Mount Teide rises dramatically from the heart of Tenerife, reaching an impressive 3,718 meters into the sky. But this isn't just any mountain, it's an active volcano, though it has been peacefully dormant since its last eruption in 1909. When you visit Teide National Park, you'll feel as though you've stepped onto another planet. The landscape is so otherworldly that NASA sent astronauts here to train for moon missions. As you explore, you'll notice the hardened lava flows beneath your feet, creating a terrain so reminiscent of the lunar surface that Hollywood couldn't resist filming scenes for movies like Clash of the Titans against its alien-like backdrop. One of the park's most fascinating features is Los Roques de Garcia, a collection of rock formations sculpted by volcanic activity and erosion into shapes that seem to defy gravity. The most famous rock, called Chayote, resembles a giant stone tree and has become an iconic symbol of Tenerife, even appearing on old Spanish banknotes. The park's unique location offers some truly special experiences. As night falls, the clear mountain air and the absence of light pollution transform it into one of Europe's premier stargazing destinations. The Teide Observatory, established here due to these exceptional conditions, houses some of the world's most advanced telescopes. Before Spanish colonization, Mount Teide was sacred to the Guanches, Tenerife's original inhabitants. They called it Ekide and believed it housed Gut, a malevolent deity similar to the devil. According to their mythology, Gut kidnapped the sun god Majak and imprisoned him inside the mountain, plunging the world into darkness until the supreme god, Amun, rescued him. Today, most visitors ascend the mountain by cable car, which transports you up to 3,550 meters in just 8 minutes. However, reaching the summit requires advanced planning, as only 200 people per day are allowed permits to protect this fragile environment. While the volcanic peaks leave visitors in awe, the experience is one of a kind.